Sam, I want to tell you that these victims, the families, lost their loved ones. The only mistake these Gen Zs did was to fight against the high cost of living, was to fight against the overtaxation, was to fight on matters unemployment in this country, was to fight for reduction of university fee. That is the only mistake that these comrades committed, that these Gen Zs committed. Then the government went further to destroy their lives, to kill them, and to give pain to their families. And I want to tell you that a life can never be compensated, even though now our comrades are resting in peace. I would partly support the issue of compensation with a rider that, take for example, that a parent educated the child from primary school to high school to the university. The average age of those who are killed is 25 years. Assuming that these people were to die naturally, through natural death, an act of God, then they would have lived even for up to 90 years, which means that at 25 years, they still had no jobs. Then to 90 years, we have 65 years. If the government wants to be genuine, then they should compensate them for the 65 years, assuming that each person who died was to earn a minimum of 30,000 Kenya shillings per month. In a year, it will be 30,000 times 12, which is 360,000 Kenya shillings in a year. Then multiply for the rest of the years remaining, which are 65 years. You will get 23,400,000 on the minimum that the government should compensate each family to a maximum of 100 million Kenya shillings.
I am a bit not so convinced that the government is doing this compensation with an intention to do good. I think to me this compensation is coming as a cover-up. A cover-up because we have not even exhausted on matters of inquiry who killed who. For example, the many that we are compensating, who killed them? And what platforms and frameworks have we put in place to make sure that we not only deliver compensation as a package, monetary-wise, but also justice? For example, those that were killed in Kiambu, whom I attended for the funeral and during the preparations, we struggled very much to make sure that we have the postmortem done on the bodies with the presence of IPOA. And some of the families actually even got tired of waiting, and they buried their loved ones without even putting up the processes that are supposed to be put before they bury their loved ones. And therefore, hardly is there evidence that can be followed. So I'm seeing like the government is rushing into coming up with this whole thing, because I'm sure the president is preparing to go to the USA. And of course, the issue of human rights violation is going to be on his shoulders. And I'm sure he wants to go with a file showing that I'm doing something in my country. People died, yes. There were riots and demonstrations, yes. People were killed, yes. But I've done this and this and this. But it is not intentional for the government to actually, they don't have the goodwill in this process. That's my take. Who are we compensating first? Are we compensating those that suffered emotional damage, emotional torture, or physical injuries, deaths, businesses that were looted and, and vandalized? And when you talk about hospital, by the way, I am one of those that went to Kenyatta National Hospital during the 2 days of serious demos and murders. And I wondered why the management of the hospital was actually stopping me from even getting to Kenyatta National Hospital, because I had to fight literally to get in. And when I went in, some patients were hidden from me. Yes, they were hidden from me. I was not able to see some of the patients. And my interest was minors, actually. I had gone there because there were 3 minors that I was interested in that were actually bedridden in bullets. And I needed to know why they were injured. Were they in the demos, or were they caught in their houses, or what happened? And I went in, and when I went in, I was shocked that very day I went to Kenyatta National Hospital, 19 minors, 19 underage. young boys and girls were in hospital. Majority of them were boys. And to my shock, 7-year-old boy had 3 bullets.
Okay.
So when we say we are compensating the mother who has been in the ward for all that time? Are we compensating the patient? Are we compensating that she lost all her businesses? Like there's one who told me she was a hair attendant, and she had to close her business, and she's a single mother.
Okay.
So, and this Macau tribunal, how constitutional is it, by the way?
Sammy, what's your guess?
I guess it's unconstitutional. It is irregularly constituted.
Why?
Because why are we jumping out the processes that are outlined in this constitution? Why are we overlapping the functions of the institutions that are enshrined in this constitution? Why? Why can't we wait for IPOA to tell us, amongst the 167 allegedly killed persons, who killed them?
Okay.
Which bullets? When I went to Kenyatta National Hospital, the boy that I was following from Limuru, the doctor told me that the bullets they removed from that boy's body was a bullet that was supposed to kill an elephant, not to be used on human beings.
Okay.
And I wondered, where would a gun that is allegedly supposed to be killing elephants be used on a human being?
Okay.
So why are we jumping processes? Why can't we allow IPOA to do their job? Now that the parcels and the remnants of that bullet are there, why are we rushing to put this tribunal in place and rush the process?
Are you saying elephants are supposed to be killed, or it was supposed to immobilize?
It was supposed to immobilize. Apologize. Immobilize the elephants. But it was used to immobilize, allegedly to immobilize human beings.
All right.
What changed is when my president and my party and my coalition, Kenya Kwanza coalition, diverted from what we promised the people of Kenya during campaigns. When a proposal to overtax people came on in the floor of the House, and nobody listened to the concerns of the people. I raised my voice and I said, I cannot pass this finance bill when it is taxing my avocado farmers and my coffee farmers. I said I cannot pass this finance bill when it has an aspect of sanitary towels and diapers that I was not comfortable with. I made a lot of noise in Parliament. That's where I behaved the way I behaved. And I said, I'm not going to pass that finance bill. That's where the journey started.
As a member of Parliament, on how well the House has done, especially on some of those things that Mheshimiwa is talking about here. Because if a vote of 8 billion shillings for subsidy fertilizer comes to the National Assembly and you approve it, the government will just implement it.
You know, Sam, the last time I heard about fertilizer was when the government packed stones and donkey poop in bags to give the farmers. Yes. And you know about it, and it was in public. However, there are 3 sectors to an economy.
Yep.
First one is the service industry that contributes 65% to the economy, and it contains the banking industry, health, and you know what is happening in health through SHA and the corruption, education, which is a service industry. You also know what is happening with capitation, and also money being sent to non-existent schools, among others. The insurance. Then, the manufacturing industry contributes around 16%.
Right.
Manufacturing and construction. You've seen what has happened to the construction industry, where the government is now providing private goods. Some through the unaffordable houses. Why do I call it unaffordable? Because these houses were meant...
You know, the first time I thought it was a slip of the tongue.
It is unaffordable houses. Because these houses, the other day, my people were raised down by fire. Over 300 people lost their property, everything. That is the first initiative that the president would have taken to award my people these houses, because they are meant for emergency. But however, it is not the role of the government to provide a private good, but it is the work of the government to facilitate consumption of public goods like roads, so that it can open up areas for businesses and security, and also encourage the consumption of merit goods like education and health. Private good, which is a house has never been an issue of concern to any Kenyan citizen. Why? Because I've not heard a Kenyan citizen crying, or rather there will be very few, a smaller percentage, crying that for me, I lack a house. Okay? But Kenyan citizen will say that I don't have food to eat. I don't have a job.
But they do complain about they don't have quality housing, Mheshimiwa.
It's not the main issue of concern, like food is, like unemployment is. If the government would give the 2 million jobs to Kenyans, Kenyans would build their own houses. If the government would, for example, come up with the idea of an electric train from Nairobi to Kisumu, from Nairobi to Mombasa, from Nairobi to Garissa, people of Garissa would be coming to Nairobi within 1 hour or so to work in Nairobi and go back to Garissa using an electric train. We need to decongest the city, because when you say that you are building houses in urban centers, you create what we call the dual economy, an economy in the rural area and economy in town. People in the rural area will start migrating from rural areas, which will make us lack. There will be a deficit of labor in the agricultural farms, and labor will be very expensive in those rural areas or any other place where agriculture is done. They will come to town, for example, Nairobi, with an intention that they will be given houses. When they reach town, they will settle in slums. So, construction of unaffordable houses contributes to sprouting of more slums. And what will happen? There are no jobs. There will be high rate level of insecurity that you are even facing right now in town. Goons are just walking all over, stabbing people, stealing from people. These are the effects of unaffordable housing. And some, if the government would desist from this issue of unaffordable houses and say that we want to use these funds to create jobs, to construct factories, to industrialize a nation where people would get jobs, then Kenyans would make so much.
Mr. President, let's be honest. You're the only one still bringing up tribalism like it's 1990. We're not fighting over tribes. We're struggling with joblessness, high taxes, police violence, and broken promises. Every time we speak up, you throw in tribal lines hoping we'll look the other way. But guess what? We won't. We're Gen Z. We've got receipts, internet, and zero chill for bad leadership. We don't care what tribe you're from. If you're not serving the people, we'll say it loud. Stop using tribalism to cover failure. It's tired. It's weak. Fix the economy. Protect our freedoms. Respect the people. We've moved on. Maybe it's time you did too.
Safina Party is all about the economy. It is the economy, stupid. And those who will see that it is the economy will join Safina Party. And there are many people who have expressed interest to even contest for positions on Safina Party ticket. At the right time, we are also going to unveil our machine. The engine is being turned on. Safina is coming. You know, a ship comes slowly and gently. You may think you are seeing a small speck somewhere at the back. Before you know it, you see a massive ship. That is Safina. Safina Party, the economy.
So the act is coming.
The act is coming. There are many Kenyans who are joining Safina Party in drafts, and I urge anybody who wishes to join Safina Party. Star 509 hash. Our party code is 034. Safina Party, the vessel for economic emancipation of our people. It's not about legacy politicians, it's about the people. And giving power to the hands of the people. That is what Safina Party stands for. And for the first time since independence, let's have an opportunity for our politics to be about the people and giving power to the people, not retaining power in the hands of legacy politicians. And we've always said two key components that we'll work on. On the economy, we are very clear, no odious debt. What that means is free education, from primary to tertiary, free healthcare. We are going to reduce VAT, 16% VAT, we are going to do away with it. And we are also going to give people an opportunity to get access to credit. The money that is held by banks, government should not borrow that money. That money should be available to Kenyans to borrow.
Okay.
And what that means is this. Interest rates will fall to even 3%. You borrow 1 million, your repayment is only 30,000 in terms of interest.
Okay.
In a year. You borrowed 1 million, you are paying interest of only 30,000. What can't you do? And OCPDs must be elected by the people. It's time the people take control of their security by electing the above. Orders from above will never come from Nairobi. The above will be the people. That is Safina. Anybody who believes in that, welcome to the ark.
Well, we wish you all the best. You said it's 18th of September.
Yes.
Ruto simpigi kura. Amenajisi inchi. Bila kutumia hata kondom.
This is Selector Dede.
Wanadhani ya si bongo lala, ikikupita we bongo lala. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunasoza. Hatujikuku mewaka sana, na mabisto na chafua raga. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunasoza. Hakuna boka, peleke shuleni watasoma. Madaktari wamegoma, hapa sani Yesu atatuponya. Wambie punde imechoka sana, farasi bado ijapatikana. Limandai wanagonya na mali wanaponda, unakonda wananona. Maandamano, 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 amise maandamano, maandamano, maandamano.